teaching people how to do that with you. And what can be kind of deflating sometimes is when you put all that in, and then 30% of people come to your training. And that can, over time, over and over and over again, that can really have an impact on you. That can really bring you down to your recruiting. So I've experienced it all. And I've probably experienced wherever you are at right now, I've probably been there. Like Dave was talking about, experienced the 50 to 60% shows. That was 3 years in the pilot of just knowing. Have you been in the zone where you just knew, like, whoever was sitting in front of you, they're coming back? And that is when you're just on fire. Business is good because you know everything you're doing is going to have an impact on your CPO. And then I've been there for the past 3 years. 2016 opened up, and 30 to 40 could not get above that. And it was frustrating, and it was a new territory, and that's absolutely what I blamed it on. It was 30 to 40%, and I just accepted my fate. I was like, this is it. I'm here, I'm at 30, 40%. We're going to have to put more front-end work in to get more people through the door. And then I got really fed up with that because I knew it was better. I knew that if I'd done it before, I could do it again. I just had to reevaluate. I just had to change things. I was kind of embarrassed by that show because I lost so many great people. I had so many just absolute killers come into the office and then not come back. And that was frustrating to me because I knew what I could do with those people. I knew that the impact that I could have on their lives was. So I wanted to change that. So I did. I'm going to cover the things today. I feel really strong about these. Because what's interesting about our interviews, regardless of what you run, whatever your interview style is, we all say the same things. We tell them what the job is, right? We give them all of those details, and that doesn't really change across the board, but there are some intangibles that you've got to do. And sometimes you've got to do them a lot of power, a lot of prowess for them to be understood effectively. So I'm excited to share what these things did for North Denver. I'm excited to share with you today. So let's go ahead and dive in. There's some goals of the interview that we have. The first goal is to create confidence. And it's confidence in multiple areas. Confidence in you as a leader. Why should they follow you? Why should they trust you? Why should they trust you as the person that's going to lead them in their next endeavor? Confidence in the program. It works. Confidence in the team that they might be joining. Is it a BA team? Confidence in themselves that they can do the job effectively. And what I'm going to end with today is the confidence and the ability to go home and talk with their parents about the job the right way. Once I implemented these things, I have not gotten the excuse of my parents don't want me to do the job in so long. So I'm excited to dive in with you guys on that. And then like Dan talked about, the trickle-down effect is going to happen. Trickle-down effect to launching more. Their experience that you give them in the interview, meeting their expectations from when they arrive to your training, go through it, and launch, it all has to align. So these things are going to help a lot with that. I've got 4 key components for you guys. I'm going to dive into each one. 4 key components in the interview that can positively impact your show percentage. And I'm not just going to go over them, but I'm really going to dive into the philosophy of why we're saying what we're saying. I'm going to give you guys some real-world examples and exactly what myself and my staff say in our interviews as well. So, first key out of our 4 is opening comments. When you hop into your interview, after you're pre-screened, setting the stage and setting the tone has really changed the game for us. Because if you think about it, you sat down with them briefly, you asked them some questions, you said, congratulations, you can go ahead in the other room and you can sit there and say, we're going to go ahead and get started, there's going to be other people with you. They still really don't know what's happening. They don't know what's going on. They don't know who you are. Some of them have no idea what the heck they're doing in this interview. They don't know what the job is. They don't know what Cutco Knives is. They don't know how it all comes together. And this is your opportunity to give them some insight into that, and also some insight into you. So that way they can see you as a real person. They see you oftentimes as this some esoteric being that they're never going to achieve what you are. You're the manager. You're that person. But they need to see you as a person where you were sitting in those exact same chairs however many years earlier. So your personal story. I'm going to do mine for you guys the exact same way that I do it for our reps in my own interviews. So I say, congratulations, guys, for being accepted for the main portion of the interview. I make sure to address every single one of them by name. You want to have every name memorized. You never want to say, you, come here, chairs in line. You want to have everybody memorized. So I have them all make their rows. I say, congratulations on being accepted to this portion of the interview. First off, I want to give you guys some insight into myself, kind of how I got started with the job, what I do here. I'm going to give you guys some insight into our team as well. I got to talk about them. I love them. And then I'm going to give you guys some insight into why I'm running interviews and kind of what I'm looking for right now. So first off, again, my name is Mazurek. I'm the district manager. I've been here for coming up on 8 years. I've been here for a while. I got the job right out of high school. I was actually recommended for this position, like many of you guys were here. I got recommended by my best friend. His name is Corey Schott. He's my OG homie. Him and I go way back. And he got the job before I did. He was actually working here for about 3 weeks before I got the job. I was working a different job at the time. I was working at Elitch's, Six Flags, Elitch Gardens. It's an amusement park. And I freaking hated it. It was the worst. It was the type of job where you could show up to work, you could work twice as hard as everybody else, but at the end of the day, you got paid the same as everybody. And that was a really frustrating place for me to be because I felt like I put a lot of work in. There was very little recognition. I didn't really feel valued. And at the same time, Corey was here with some other friends, and they were doing really well with the job. And so I asked Corey to put in a good word. I got interviewed by my now division manager. His name's Drew. I'll talk about him later on. And I really fell in love with it. The minute I got the job, I really fell in love with the opportunity. Not only did I like what I was doing for my job, but I really liked the types of people that I was around. That was the main thing. Because at Elitch's and Vector, we're about 17 to 25-year-olds. It's a pretty young environment. So it was the same age range, but what I felt coming into Vector was a complete 180 shift. It was a 180 shift in terms of focus, environment. I was around positive, motivated people that were really excited about building their future. I was around D1, D2 athletes, 4.0 students, a couple valedictorians on our team. It was just a bunch of young men and women who expected more out of themselves, and that really fired me up. And my dad had always preached to me to surround myself with people that were better than me, and I felt that way. So long story short, the job helped me get through school. I never had to take out a loan. I never had to push the mommy-daddy button. It helped me save. It helped me learn a lot through the process as well. I was able to purchase my first home shortly after school ended, so while a lot of my friends were graduating and swimming around in student loan debt, I was able to start investing, and this job taught me a lot of that. So that's a great segue into our company. Our company is Vector Marketing. Our product is Petco. Vector's been around since 1981. For the past couple of years, Vector's been named Company of the Year for Students by the National DECA Association. USA Today came out with the top 20 companies to work for in 2018, and Vector was ranked, so companies like Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, Google, Facebook, Vector, we were ranked 12th, and we're really proud of that. A couple of the reasons for that recognition is because of the flexibility the job provides, the experience provided in the job, and if somebody does get accepted and they are in school, we do award 150 to 200 scholarship years. We do like to help people pay for college if that's something that they're looking for. So the number one thing that really sticks out about Vector, though, is the experience. Why we're giving that recognition is because what we were equipping students with as they were graduating. The unemployment rate for students right now at college is really high. It's about 50 to 60%. 50 to 60% of students graduate college and end up not having a job as soon as they graduate. And one of the biggest things that we saw when we looked at that is that so many students, tens of thousands of students, graduate every single year with incredible backgrounds in their education, their degree, their major, but many of them lack real-world experience. They have very similar degrees, very similar experience in terms of, fast food industry, retail, holding clothes, whatever it is. Not saying those are bad, but they're not equipping people for their future. So that's what we focus on. We focus on the personal, professional, financial development of everybody that comes onto our team. What I want to do is equip students for later on. I've got all sorts of degrees in the office right now, doctors, lawyers, architects, engineers, and what all of them need are interpersonal skills, time management, goal setting, relationship building. So that's what we focus on a daily basis. So when I look to work with somebody, I look to work with somebody that is excited to grow themselves personally, professionally, and financially. Not someone who just wants to show up to work, do the minimum amount, and get a paycheck. So that's opening comments. It's about popping fear bubbles. So you pop fear bubbles. You help them understand that you're coming from a place of, you were there, you've been there, I'm not weird, I was sitting in those same chairs. It helps. Second key to the interview is third-person stories. I'm going to be relatively brief about this, guys, but when I was looking at, when I was getting great shows in the pilot office, it was because I knew everybody. Every single rep that was on the team, I knew them, I knew their personal story, I knew the struggles that they had, the type of person that they were when they came in, and I was able to use those in the interview, and I was very vocal about those. And I had different stories for every single person, the introvert, the extrovert, somebody who needed a very flexible schedule. And I was able to portray those and really help pop fear bubbles as well. That's what the interview is all about, guys, just popping as many fear bubbles as you can to build their confidence that they got this. Somebody else has been in their same shoes before they come in. So your third-person stories, really quickly with this, here's what you need. And dive into this with your team. Figure out who these people are and use them. First one is the timid rep. So who's your third person story for the person that came in? They were shy, they'd never done a job like this before, and they did really well. They grew, they learned a lot. The second type of third person story that you need is the extremely motivated and competitive rep. The rep who wanted to go all out, the rep who wanted to work hard and really be valued for the work that they put forward. The third one is the rep who needed a very flexible schedule. The one who pretty much needed to work to get their parents off their back, tell them they were doing something. And what reps need to see is that you understand the need for flexibility. You understand what that needs to look like for each person individually, and you're there to cater to them as well. So that's number 2, is really utilizing your third person stories. Number 3 is your stump speech. And what Brian did, man, that got me so fired up, because I love delivering. I love delivering a stump speech. The stump speech is my favorite part. And through those 3 years of awful shows, I did not have one. I didn't have a good one. I didn't have one that actually made me excited to give it and talk about it. So this might be a glaring thing with your interviews that you may need to address. But the stump speech, jumping right to the end of the interview session, needs to dive into, here's where our team has been, here's where we're going, we're looking for incredible people to join. We don't need you, we want the right ones. So when I get to this section, I say, so those are the details of the job. I want to cover the last couple things. I want to cover right now why I'm running interviews. Our office right now is in a really special place. We're a young office. We haven't been around for a very long time. We opened up in 2016, and I started in a great place. I learned a lot from my mentor and my manager at the time, and going through college, I really didn't quite know what I wanted to do. I had no clear direction. I was pretty much paying for a degree that I didn't know what I was going to do with. But what Vector did is I was working this job and going to college, and it gave me a lot of perspective. And it helped me understand what I loved and where my passions were. I realized that I loved people. I loved helping people succeed. I loved giving people the skills necessary to leave this job and go achieve their dreams. Nothing fired me up more, nothing gave me more value. And so I realized that I wanted to go career at this company. I wanted to open up an office, and in 2016, I was given the opportunity to open up a district office. That's what North Denver was for. And I love to win. I'm very competitive. I freaking hate to lose. And so that year, 2016, we were one new office out of 158 other new offices in the company. And we wanted to win a Silver Cup. Silver Cup is like the Vince Lombardi Trophy. It is the top dog of achievements that you can win in this company. And we wanted to take home our first one. And by the end of 2016, we got close. Top 5 in the nation, right around $400,000 in business. And we were very proud of that year. For 2017, again, number 1 is the goal. We grew. We did about $690,000, so great growth in the nation. Top 5. Very proud of both of those years. Not satisfied. 2018 hit. 2018 hit, we got down to business. We grew with the right people. We focused on working with the right people. We really figured things out in the business. And in 2018, we officially finished top 5. I'm really freaking sick of top 5. I'm sick of top 5. And why I'm running interviews right now is because we're really close. Right now, the North Denver office is in 2nd place in the company. I lost about half my team in summer ending. Most of our reps go to school out of state. So right now, we're trying to continue the legacy that they've left from the summertime. I need to fill positions with the right people. I'm looking for people who want to lead. I'm looking for people who want to be a part of something that's bigger than themselves. And I'm looking for people who also want to grow. You see my assistant manager staff. I've got 7 assistant managers. Most of them are going to be leaving and opening up their own offices and running their own businesses. And I'm really proud of them, but that also means that I need to replace them. So I'm going to be looking for people who want to advance as well and grow into management positions. Management positions mean you get dual income. My assistant managers are paid very well off the office, as well as off their personal sales and leading by example. So if you feel like, if things go well today, and we end up going forward with the position, if you feel like management is something that could potentially be of interest to you, go ahead at the bottom of your acceptance sheet there, just put an M and circle it for me. I'd just like to know that. So if we do go forward, I have something to keep in mind. Then I have them work on their questions there at the end. I have them finish the referrals, the PRs on the back, and then we dive into the last part. So stump speech. Get them fired up. And gosh, guys, if you don't have one that fires you up yet, take some time. On your plane ride home, figure out why you're doing this. I think Brian's talk gave us a lot of perspective on what we're really here to do again, and implement some of that stuff in there. Something that you can deliver with passion and excitement. I can't tell you how many acceptance sheets I look at, and there's a big star, they write Silver Cup, people are circling, they don't even know what it looks like. I love that. Lastly, fourth key is your post screen. Now, your post screen questions, I don't feel like I do a ton special with the post screen questions, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time on that. But one thing to think about and ask yourself about your post screen is, and this was a conversation that I was having with Drew as I was preparing for this talk, and think about, they're about to leave your office and they're about to go talk to somebody. They're about to go chat it up with somebody, a friend, a significant other, or a parent. And what do you want that conversation to feel like, sound like? How do you want them to be talking about what they just experienced with you? And a lot of that is left at the post screen. A lot of that is how you make them feel as they're leaving, as you're accepting them. So with your post screen, it's got to be a genuine acceptance, heartfelt. At the round tables, I was chatting a little bit with a couple people, and are you taking notes on your people? On their application sheets, are you taking notes and making sure that you know the exact reason as to why they're going to be a great fit for your team, for this office? What about them is going to make them a rock star in this business? And are you accepting them for the right reasons? Generic doesn't work. You've got to cater to them. They want to be a doctor. How is this job going to help them get there? So be prepared for your acceptance, because it's got to come from a really good place. So that way when you shake their hand, you can look at them and you can say, I'm so excited to have you on this team. Like I'm very excited that we got to sit down. I cannot wait to introduce you to the assistant manager staff. Whenever we do bring somebody new on, their first thing that they enjoy doing is meeting somebody brand new. So I cannot wait to tell you all about them. So a good heartfelt acceptance. And then the last part is how you lead them. I'm going to chat a little bit about what I talked to them about with their preparation and coming in the right way. Their names list, we like to have that prepped on the front end and then do more work on it throughout training, and then how to go talk to their parents about all this. So, good handshake, congratulations, welcome to the team. Let's cover the last couple things. I've got a couple things here for you. I've got an info sheet. It's got to have all the reminders that you're going to need for training on there, timing, everything like that. It's all here. This is a brainstorm sheet. I'm going to come back to this. This is a packet for your parents. I absolutely want you to share this with them. I'm going to chat about this here in a second. So first off, on our reminder sheet, if you could, for me, show up 15 to 30 minutes early. Bring a notebook and a pen for good notes, dress professionally. Bring some snacks with you. I won't be buying dinner for the office that first night, so I have you covered there. Put a star next to this one for me, your brainstorm list. I'm going to come back to that. We'll chat about that here in a second time. And then bring your cell phone and cell phone charger with you to training. So the star that I put next to this guy, your brainstorm list. If you remember in the interview, there was a girl that I chatted about, and she really wanted to get off to a strong start in the job. She wanted to kind of hit the job running versus crawling into this. You remember Jenna Ebert? This was the number one thing that she worked on. She wanted to come in with a lot of names and numbers of people that she could potentially see herself practicing with in her first couple weeks on the job. This would be the number one thing I would focus on coming in prepared for training. Most reps have about 20 names and numbers on here. Some come with between 20 and 30, and our top shoot for that 50 mark. So for this list, this is just a list of people that you think you could potentially feel comfortable practicing with in your first couple weeks on the job, not people that you're definitely going to show. And for this list too, I don't want you to call any of them. I don't want you to reach out to any of them before training. I teach you how to do all of that in training. We have a script for everything. It's really simple, so I have you covered there. A couple people you can put on this list. Like for me on my first line, I put my parents, I put mom and dad. Line 1, put their phone number, grandparents, aunts, uncles. I had some of my friends' parents on there, some of my parents' co-workers, a couple neighbors, just people I thought would be potentially nice enough to hang out with me. And the biggest key is I sat down with my mom and dad and let them know kind of what I was doing. We went through their cell phones and built that up as well. Any questions for me on that? And I will elaborate on that if need be with them. You guys can talk to me about that later too. But then the last part is how they leave and how they talk with their parents about the job. So that packet, that parent take-home packet, is so powerful. And you've got to use that, and you've got to use it the right way. So last thing what I have for you is a packet that I want you to share with your parents. So when you go home and you talk with mom and dad about the job, you're going to get one of two reactions to the job. I've learned a lot from working with so many parents and students over the years, and you'll get one of two reactions. And the first reaction is if they know about the job already. I mentioned Jenna in the interview, and I mentioned that both of Jenna's brothers sold Cutco in college. Her entire extended family has owned this stuff for over a decade. Well, when Jenna went home and told her mom she got the job selling Cutco knives, her mom was psyched. Her mom was excited to get more discounts. She was ready to go. And she knew the drill, pulled out her cell phone, helped Jenna build. So if your parents know about Cutco already, they're going to be 100% supportive and on board. Now, if they don't know about Cutco, like when I went home and I told my dad I got a job selling knives, I got the exact opposite reaction as Jenna did with her mom. My dad, he was like, the hell you got a job selling knives, man? He's like, what does that even mean? And he had a million questions for me. He was peppering me with all these questions. And it was all coming from a really good place. At first, I was a little caught off guard because I was really excited about the new job. But he was just coming from a place of a parent. He had a lot of questions. He wanted to make sure that I was in a good place, I was going to be taken care of, and really in a good job. Some main things, he just wanted to make sure I wasn't having to go door to door, didn't have to do any cold calling. A big one for him was he wanted to make sure that I didn't have to buy anything to get started. He didn't want this to be like network marketing, like pyramid scheme type of a job. He just wanted to make sure I was in a good place. So I was able to answer all those questions. I learned all that in the interview. But this packet right here, this helped him out a ton. It's got a couple things inside of it. It's got our people, products, and programs. It talks about what we stand for as a company, our mantra. It's got our company structure, how long we've been around. It's our 70th year anniversary. It's got how you get started and paid. It's got some skills that you're going to start developing through the job as well. This next page here is Leslie. She talks about her experience selling Cutco through college and what it did for her. I absolutely want you to read this. Make sure you read this one with your parents too. It gives some great insight. And then the last page here, DECA. So I'm going to put a star next to DECA. This was kind of the nail in the coffin for my dad on him supporting me in the job. Because I was in DECA in high school. And once he saw that we were national sponsors of DECA, he started actually believing me that I was trying to apply for a real job. So if they have any questions, share this with them. Here's this. You have my contact info, so if you need anything at all, reach out. You're on the team. I got 200%. Sound good? So you leave them the right way. You give them tools to go home and talk to their parents. You address any negativity. You say, hey, if your parents are grilling you, it's okay. I promise you, they're just coming from a good place, so don't get defensive. They just want to make sure you're in an awesome job. So share this up with them. It's huge. Then I'll give them a tour of the office. I'll show them the 10K Fast Start wall. I'll talk about how the 10K Fast Starters got there. I love to show the 10K Fast Start wall and just point out how many demos that it took for them to get there. And then I reference their list. I take them over and I say, so this is our list of 26 10K Fast Starters throughout the entire history of North Denver. And they all have a lot of things in common. Some of them are really introverted, some of them are extremely extroverted. What they all had in common though was that list that I told you about. They had between 30 and 50 names and numbers on there. Not saying you get 30 to 50, you're guaranteed to sell $10,000 and make $2 grand in income in 10 days, but you have a good shot. So work hard on that list. If you got questions on it, give me a shout. And I'll be helping you build it up more in training too, but that's going to give you a good starting base. Cool. Congrats again. Go say bye to these assistant managers, and then I have them head out. So, with your interview, think about, do they understand the job in a way where they feel confident describing it to their parents? Do they have confidence in the fact that they can do the job because they know what it entails, what's expected of them in the job, and how to prepare for training so that way they can see success? Do they have confidence in you as their potential leader? Do they believe in the vision and what you're trying to accomplish? How you're trying to impact people? Are they tied in and bought into that? Do they have confidence that they're joining the right team and are going to be taken care of? So, hope that helps. Thank you guys so much.
Man, that's